Hello, my name is Elizabeth Whiting Pierce, and I'm Director of Interdisciplinary and Engaged Learning in the professional schools in the program for leadership and character. This presentation will answer a question that many of our faculty alum have raised over the last couple of years. Specifically, what is the relationship between character education and the pursuit of justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion? I'm going to answer this question at a pretty high conceptual level. The practical answer to this question of how can character education be done in an inclusive and equity producing way, my colleagues will touch on some tomorrow with the 7 strategies discussion. But I want to stay more at the level, the 30,000 foot level, and show what the relationship between character education and the pursuit of justice is, both in the classroom and in the world beyond the classroom. So just a reminder of what character education is. Character education happens when teachers provide students with a social context and learning activities which support students' development of intellectual and/or moral virtues. So that social context is really important for this session. So I think there are 2 answers to the question of how do justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion work in relationship to character education. And the first is that justice, both in its interpersonal and structural forms, is a precondition for character education. So social context matters. Not all social contexts are conducive to character education. And so we have to start by promoting justice in our classrooms. And then secondarily, character education can support students in going out into the world and being agents of social change and social justice. But character education isn't a magic bullet. It doesn't do that all on its own. It does that, character education will not end climate change. Character education will not reform policing in America. But character education can support students and then later professionals in the work of pursuing those goals. So we'll explore those 2 answers to this question of the relationship between justice, equity, diversity, and inclusion in character education in the following videos.